What is going on, and welcome back to another episode of iCoach Nutrition Radio. Today I'm coming at you with yet another question coming from our private Facebook group, the iCoach Nutrition Family Facebook group. Again, this is a Facebook group that it's made up of essentially all of the clients that I currently work with one-on-one, as well as all of the clients that I've worked with over the last 10 years. It also has quite a few people that we've invited into the group, or they've requested to join the group. They heard about it through this podcast, or they were invited by a client or a previous client, or they saw me post about it on some type of social media platform there. So would definitely encourage you to request to join the group there. Would love you to come join us and be a part of the community. With doing that, when you request to join the group, it'll ask you, what is your number one struggle with nutrition? And so the question here that I'm going to be answering is, this person had said, what should I eat if I want to lose weight? All right, great question, right? So when we start to really break this down, really the breakdown here should be, hey, I should be focusing on the majority of my food being whole food, nutrient dense based foods, right? So what is this, right? This means that we should be focusing on, I'd say 80% or more of the time, we should be focusing on eating lean meats, right? This is going to be things like, ground turkey, chicken breast, also seafoods are another great option there, right? So things like shrimp, things like mahi. Also, on the red meat side of things, we want to go on the leaner side there. So, lean ground beef, a leaner ground bison. And again, these are the only things that you can eat, but these are just some examples of what we would consider lean proteins, right? So essentially your meats, your seafoods. Other things also are going to be your carbohydrates. And so carbohydrates are going to be things like, we're going to want to focus on the starches, right? And so with the starches, preferably, these are going to be more whole grain based starches there. Other things that would fall into that carbohydrate realm would be things like vegetables and fruits as well. From there, we're also going to want to be consuming healthy fat sources, right? So these can be things like avocados, olive oils, avocado oils, nuts and seeds, things like that. And then also kind of giving some of those examples going off of the starches, right? This is going to be things like, looking into like rices. This could be quinoas. This could be, any type of rice, potato, these types of things, right? Going off the vegetables, really any vegetables, any fruits, these could all go into those categories. But essentially a whole foods based diet, right? The things where they are, nutrient dense, right? The foods that you're going to be, going to the grocery store, buying your groceries, coming back home, cooking your food, right? Cooking your food the majority of the time, right? Essentially focusing on, hey, if I'm eating this food, the majority of the food that I eat, that I prepare, that I cook for my family and for myself, I'm cooking the majority of it, rather than going to fast food, restaurant food, and somebody else cooking the majority of your own food. Okay, so that's kind of the idea there. That would be the focus is like, what should I eat if I'm trying to lose weight? Well, it's really going to be the same for losing weight, maintaining weight, gaining weight. We're going to want to focus on eating, we're going to want to focus on the food quality side of the equation, and we're going to want to focus on the quantity side of the equation as well. I just won't get into that part on this podcast. We're just going to focus on, the what, right? What to eat, right? The question was, what should I eat if I want to lose weight? So to give you a little bit more, specific advice here, what I would recommend is focusing on the majority of your diet should be made up of plants, right? The majority of your diet should be made up of vegetables or fruits or a combination of both. And so for those of you that have been listening to the podcast before, or follow me on social media, you hear me talk about this idea of building out an iCoach plate, right? And so all an iCoach plate is if you can think about a visual here, right, of building out your plate. So you've got your plate, let's say it's a circular plate. Essentially what you're trying to do is you're filling up half of your plate with vegetables or fruits or a combination of both. So let's call that color. Then you're going to fill up a quarter of your plate with protein, and then a quarter of your plate with carbohydrates. So you might be asking yourself, what about the healthy fats? Most of the time you're going to get healthy fats from either the cooking oil that you're using there to prepare the meal, or you're getting it in the animal fats from the protein source. Or, let's say, for example, you're using, you know, like some type of like sauce, right? And so you could potentially get some healthy fats there. Like if you're using a brand like Primal Kitchen or Tessemae's, a lot of their sauces are like an avocado base, right? And so you'll get some healthy fats there. But essentially focusing on, hey, I'm building out my iCoach plate here, which is going to help me to focus on my portion sizes, right? And with portion sizes, obviously you actually weighing your food, measuring your food, logging your food, that's really what's going to be giving you the most awareness in terms of the quantity side of the equation when it comes to your nutrition, right? Because when the question comes up of, what should I eat to lose weight? Well, you need to create a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. So that's going to be different for everybody, depending upon what your maintenance calories should be, therefore creating a calorie deficit to help you lose weight, lose body fat. Right. So when you break down nutrition, the quality and the quantity side of the equation matters very, very much. But to simplify this, focus on building iCoach plates, focus on the majority of your meals being plant. That's why we have half of our plate being filled up with vegetables or fruits or a combination of both. And then also focus on filling up that quarter plate with protein, that quarter plate with carbs, so that you have a balanced meal. And I would focus on mainly eating meals, right? When you're trying to lose weight, those are going to be what actually allow you to feel satiated, right? If you fall into the trap of just snacking all the time, well, you're mainly probably going to be snacking on just carbs, right? Mainly carbs and fats. And so these aren't going to be things that are going to help you to actually feel full and satiated. And so you're going to end up just snacking all of the time, never actually getting full. And then you end up overeating carbs and fats, under eating on protein, under eating on fiber. And it makes it really, really hard for you to be able to stay adherent with eating in a calorie deficit. So simplified here, focus on iCoach plates, focus on majority of your food being plants, half plate color would be vegetables or fruits, or a combination of both. Focus on lean protein sources the majority of the time. That's where that quarter plate of protein is going to be. Generally speaking, there for most men, that's going to be 6 to 8 ounces per meal. For women, that's going to be 3 to 4 ounces per meal. And then with the carbohydrates, again, filling up quarter of your plate with carbohydrates through these starches, preferably whole grain sources. And this is going to typically look like it's going to be different quantities there depending upon the person, but a good kind of rule of thumb here for general population clients, it would mean, hey, trying to get about 40 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per men. And then, about 20 to 30 grams of carbohydrates there for women. So again, these are very general recommendations. It's really hard to answer the question of, hey, what should I eat if I want to lose weight? It's specific to you, right? It just depends. But hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of context through a very, very general recommendation. But the big takeaway here that I want to give you is from a quality perspective, focus on the majority of your food being whole food, nutrient dense foods, right? And make sure that you are, from a quantity perspective, focusing on building iCoach plates. If you can do this, this is going to put you in a pretty good spot. But if you really want to get the best results possible, you should definitely work one-on-one with a coach so that we can really individualize this to you specifically, as well as get you to start building awareness around your habits, both nutritionally, both with exercise, as well as just all of your other lifestyle habits like sleep and hydration and stress management and so on and so forth. And then also be able to actually start tracking and building awareness around the number side of the equation with being able to utilize tools like a food scale, like measuring devices, like logging your food on an app like MyFitnessPal, so that you can actually understand your numbers. You can actually start to understand what maintenance calories is for you specifically, which is the number that's going to help you to be able to maintain your weight. From there, understanding what a calorie deficit is for you, an appropriate calorie deficit is for you, so you will know how to lose weight, lose body fat, and then also understanding what a calorie surplus is for you, so that you will not eat in a calorie surplus, which is going to make you, gain weight, which for you and wanting to lose weight, that's essentially what's happened up into this point. That's what's gotten you to where you are today. So this is my best attempt at creating a very general recommendation here for answering the questions, what to eat if I want to lose weight. Okay. All righty. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them below here. Comment in the Facebook group with your question. request to join this group and answer the number one struggle with nutrition question. I'll answer it here on the podcast, or send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, the podcast, YouTube, whatever. And I would love to answer any and all questions that you have. If you have the question, I guarantee you there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that have the same exact question. And so if I can answer it for you, others can listen to it and they can be able to get that value there as well, so that it can positively impact their lives and help them to feel better, look better, perform better, and ultimately work towards becoming the best version of you. So hope you all are having an amazing Sunday here, and we will chat here soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.